What's up, guys? I'm Phill and welcome back to The Roottrees Are Dead. Last we left off, we were able to uncover a bunch of names, and I think we're at like 8. So there's wait, 7, 8, 9, 9. So we made some pretty good progress last time. Let's see if we can uncover a few more names. We need to uncover 9 more in order for the creepy lady, mysterious lady, to come back. So let's go ahead and look at our evidence here, because we got a bunch more when she visited last time. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Here's a bonus. When I pulled the water damage picture of the free spirits out of the frame, this fell out too. The free spirits. Let's spider search that. Oh wait. Delete that and then find that. No? Must be just a picture. Okay, let's go back to evidence. Let's just get these 3 people. Written on the back of the photo is, couldn't make the reunion, wishing you well from Paris, Gwen and the boys. So this guy has film school on his shirt. I pulled the water damage picture of the free periods. Interesting. Let's take a closer look at this picture. So we know that's Gwyneth. And these are 2 kids. This guy's in film school. So we gotta remember that. We don't know who that guy is yet. So let's go ahead and put that as one of her pictures, just so we don't forget. Oh, wait, we can't. What? She doesn't have unless it's another Gwyneth. Let's look at that picture again. It looks like... Oh, it's Gwen. Gwen and the boys. Okay, so it's not Gwyneth. Got that. After some time, they returned with new resources. A photo of Carl's generation, taken in the mid to late 90s, as well as some papers and mail from his office. And then said they had a bit more to share after 9 more blood relatives. So from Carl's generation, huh? Carl is the dad's. So Carl, James, it has to be on this line right here. So it could be any of these actually. So that doesn't really help us out that much. We just have to remember that for now. Let's look at this one. This photo was taken. Did it reset the music volume? Dang. This photo was tucked inside an envelope with a letter beneath a candle in the corner of his office. The letter says, to Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It's tradition to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on earth, knew how busy your job can be. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though it's not expected for those outside of the faith to do so. So these people were not religious. Carl and Brenda were not religious. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you 3 did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. So Ernie was the 4th president. We need to look that up. As for myself, it is impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of the endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donors list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It went unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. Nicole's their daughter. We could never have done that much without the 2 of you fighting for us. Much love, Debbie. Okay. So it's Debbie and Ernie. And they have 1 daughter. So it might be this one right here. Because it wouldn't be this. This is too messy. And I don't think it would be any of these other ones. It could be this one. No, wait. If Carl's doing it, then that means their daughter has to be in this tier right here. So it might be one of these other ones. That's so hard. One daughter. It's not that. It has to be one of these two here. Spouse within the picture. So we know that. Let's write our notes down here. We know that Ernie died. We don't know his last name. Ernie died. His wife is Debbie, and their daughter is Nicole. Okay. Because these guys were visited by Carl and Brenda. This right here. So maybe it wasn't. It has to be someone that didn't know that they were a part of the trust. Like part of the family. So it might be one of these two. I'm not sure. Interesting. Okay. Did we grab these pictures? Yeah, we grabbed both of those. Let's go look at the evidence again. All right. So we have one left. Oh my God, there's so many pictures in there. Do you think if I click on all of them, they'll... Oh my God. There's so many. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 or so years, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is the one from the 70s, and Carl's the teenager in the middle. This guy. Has to be this guy. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo, in childish print writing, it says November. That's important somehow. There are also a large number of cursive signatures. They include Bonnie, next president Guy Hudson. When is this? From the 70s. Carl's a teenager. So Guy Hudson is one of the presidents. Let's highlight that. Yeah. Ernie Jr., Caroline, Gwyneth M. What? Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Rootree, Clark, Carl, and Eli M. It's a lot of names with a lot of faces, but at least we know this one is Carl. They look similar, so let's go ahead and put that in there. Let's see. That guy. So these guys all have to be in there. Let me see here. He has a beard with a mustache. It has to be this guy. With the hair. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's this one. It said Jim was in the picture too. Right? Let's look at this again. So Jim was... Yeah, Jim Rootree was in there. Clark, Carl. Let's look at this picture a little bit closer because we see a Eli here in the back. But he's already old. So, or like older. This guy looks like he would be in the disco, but I don't know. Then there's these two with red hair. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. Look at this. This was buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. It had a handwritten note attached that seemed personal. It is a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love, and now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own, due around Christmas, her message for voters is simply, love is our future. The handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. CM. CM. Okay. You could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie. What's wrong with Stephanie? There's something going on with Stephanie. Interesting. Let's look this up. We got a lot of stuff to look up, so let's look up Stephanie. You learn from an election results page that Stephanie Jones, a candidate for city council, won her campaign on election day about a month ago. You find no mention of the Roottrees in any articles about her. Stephanie also has a very bare bones website for her campaign. It is simply a picture of her campaign mailer, and underneath it says, "Be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times." Okay. Butler. Wait. County Times. Keyword Stephanie. What? Oh. Let's go back to evidence where it says Butler County Times. Okay. What? Wait, what? No, we got... No. Butler County Times. Stephanie Jones. There we go. New periodical added. The most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results from last month's election. Stephanie apparently won her election. You also find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unimportant, you do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County her whole life. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. Okay. Though she is a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother, Caroline, a local artist who has appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees to expand their maple farms. Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring my love to the world. Distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother Caroline, a local artist, page of the Butler County Times. Caroline, so we need to look that up. So she was born Stephanie Landon. Okay, this is a lot of information right here. So her mom is a lesbian, I think, right? Here. Because this would be Stephanie, I think. But this person... What? Split up. Oh, the X means split up. And then she married her. So, wait, no. Wait, what? That's not right then. Because her mom split up and then married another person. So it can't be this tree. It has to be my... What's this one? Abduction or otherwise. It has to be this one. Yeah, I think it's this one. Because her mom split up and then from her dad. Let's look her up. Stephanie Landon. Oh, wait, no. Caroline. There we go. Back. Butler County Times. There apparently are a lot of people named Caroline that have been reported on over the years. Okay, let's go back real quick. Stephanie Jones. Landon. Her name is Landon. Oh. No, Butler County Times. Caroline Landon. Damn it. Okay, wait, let's look at the list of names. That might help us. I know Caroline has to be one of them. Wait, it would be... Damn it. This would be easier. Caroline Morden. Window line. Yeah, that's only Caroline. So we need to look up Caroline Morden in the computer. More what? Morden. Oh. You find a cover story about a local art installations, including one by Caroline Morden. There isn't much about Caroline as a person. This is mostly a listing of art in Butler County. She seems to get the top billing. Accompanying the story, there's an image of Caroline standing beside a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. It is captioned, Caroline standing next to her sculpture, Atlantis Burden. Okay, let's just highlight this real quick. This sculpture is one of the many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait Art book. Here's a book. Beauty of Women. Okay. Highlight. According to the quote further down, Atlantis Burden is meant to symbolize a society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. The picture on the front page has been added to your evidence. Where? So this is Caroline. The image that accompanied the story about local art in the Butler County Times is captioned Caroline standing next to her sculpture Atlantis Burden. This sculpture is one of the many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait Art and the Beauty of Women. So this is Caroline Borden. Okay. Oh, geez, a lot. Oh, we already read that. Okay, so now it's getting kind of crazy. So we need to look up, what was the thing? The book. Or maybe we should look up this. Where is it? Spider search. Atlantis Burden. Maybe it needs a thing like this. Oh, no. Okay. So now we go to periodicals because we got to look up the book. No. So it'd be public library. Copy that. Thank God I don't have to rewrite all that. Caroline or Morden. All right. Published in 1987, softcover art dedicated to Elise, and Stephanie. She has 2 daughters. Okay. So let's look at this real quick. $2 here. No, she's split up. So it has to be this one. Has to be this one. Yeah. Because her 2 daughters here. And then, what's her name? I already forgot. Let's look at the evidence again. The politician would go there. Because Caroline is the mom, right? Yeah, Caroline Morden. Yeah, CM. That's her mom, Stephanie Jones. Okay, let's go back to evidence. Okay. So we're on to something here. Elise and Stephanie. Oh wait, those are the 2 girls. Yeah, Stephanie Jones. So it has to be this generation, but it says here that there's another kid. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's this one. I wonder why these are here like this. This is hard. Because we know there's 2 kids, so there has to be 2 names next to each other. Unless it's this. But we know that it says she's, I think the way they said it, it was like she was a lesbian now or something. Let's look. Mostly black and white pictures of Caroline's art. The centerpiece is a series of full-color nude self-portraits at different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. They certainly have not been added to your evidence. Thank God. In the intro, Caroline talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation, and in her late teens, she felt betrayed when her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. She especially disliked her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. Their marriages led her to double down on her passions, art, and the environment. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. She comes out strongly against the Roottrees company's effect on the local environment and rues how she was not able to convince her father Zach to make changes to policy. She also explains that her marriage to Mark led to the most volatile moments in her life, all negative, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good has pushed her to pursue her true loves, art and the beauty of women. Yeah, so she became a lesbian. They were split up. There's just so much going on in here. Gwendolyn is a sister. She was one of the youngest in her generation, so we know that she leans more on the left side, right? Yeah. Oh no, the right side. Oh damn. So she's somewhere over here, and we know that they split up. Okay. So I don't know what this box means. So we know that this has to be. This is Zach. This is wait, what's her name? Caroline Molden. Caroline Morden. We know that for sure. And this is Zach Wilson. Let's look at the computer again. Zach ZAC. Might be. Oh yeah, Zachariah Morden. Yeah, because she got married. Okay. Wait, no. Or was that her dad? God dang it, I'm getting all tripped up. So, okay. We already talked about art. Youngest in her generation. In her late teens, she felt betrayed when her sister... So she has a sister. Gwendolyn. And cousin Bonnie. So she has a sister. That's important. Gwendolyn. Because now we know that there has to be 2 kids. See, this is why it doesn't make sense. Because... it says her sister, but she's the only one in this realm. Unless it needs to be moved down 1 to here. See, that's the thing that doesn't make sense because they split up. It needs to have this split up. Unless she's not part of Carl's generation. And we can check that by looking at the dates. This is 1987, right? So if we look at here, this magazine, 1987, they're grown up. What? And so this one published 1987, so it's both the same. She's one of the youngest, so oldest to youngest. Youngest has to be on the right. And this is the only X in this area that has to split up. So that's why I don't understand this. And then there's this red box here, which makes it even more confusing. I just don't know what this box means. But she's one of the stars, right? So she needs to be a notable character. Let's go look at the names. Oh, see, it's not right. So these are the stars. And that's a starred name, and it can't be here. She can't be here. We need to delete this. Yeah, just reset it for now. Damn, this is hard. Because we know they split up, and it's only from there or here. But this is on the older side, and it needs to have a sister. And none of these have a sister. That's why it's so difficult. She needs to be in... No, even if she's in this box, it doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's look up Zach's name. Zach Morden. Look it up real quick. Zach Morden. Damn. Nobody. Oh, wait. Wasn't his name Zachariah or something? look it up. Because you gotta use their whole name. Zachariah. Okay, let's see if I can spell it right. Zaka Riah Morden. Yeah. So nothing, unfortunate. But she has 2 kids at this point. So even if she's here, there's no box here that has 2 kids. Unless it's down here. But this is saying that she has another relationship where she broke up and then she had a lesbian spouse or like a lesbian partner. So I think what we need to do is we need to look up one of the names up here and let it trickle down, because things are getting too complicated trying to figure out all the stuff down here. Things aren't making sense to me. So let's go ahead. Wait, who'd she say her dad was? And Rue's how she was not able to convince her father Zach. She was married to Mark. Let's type in the name just so we can see who it is. Zach was her dad, but Mark Landon. Let's look him up. Damn it. All these people are not important. But then who's the other girl? So it's a Stephanie Jones. And then the other name was what was it? I need to go back to this one. No, this one. Eloise? Let's go back to this. Type it in. Oh no, we don't even need to look at that. We need to look at this. Eloise. Oh, we don't know her last name. Eloise doesn't. We don't know her last name. So she definitely goes in here. Right here. This is well, we don't know if Caroline Morden. Caroline Morden and her husband was Mark Landon. No, yeah, Mark Landon. Her father. Okay, let me think about the order of names. If the name changed, it would mean that the spouse is the male. So this would be Zach Morden. So Zachariah Morden here, to married whoever, had Caroline Morden and Mark Landon. And then here we have Stephanie Landon and Eloise here. And she wants to be mayor. Oh. Or politician. Is it politician? Politics. And this is Stephanie. Where is she? Her. And then we don't know her spouse's name, but that has to be him here. Stephanie Jones. We know that well, it says a picture of him, but I don't even know if the thing, yeah, it has a picture of him. This would be right here. Okay, and then wait, but then we don't know if they have 2 daughters. That's the problem. Yeah, let's read this real quick. This is not right. Stephanie may have grown up and now 22 later with a baby of her own due around Christmas. But they have no kids yet. But why is there 2? So I'm thinking that might not be right. It seems like it's all adding up, but it's not right. It seems like it should be in here. She's an artist. Bonus pictures. Okay, so that's Caroline for sure. I can't even say that because I don't like it should work out, but And then she's only with 2 kids. But this is the weird part right here. We know she doesn't have any kids yet. Unless they're hiding something. But we don't even know. It might not even... The way he's like holding her makes me think that it's her husband. But it says now with a baby of her own due around Christmas. Okay. So let's just leave that for now. The annoying part is I don't think this is correct because one of the stars, Caroline Morden, she's not on the list of names. Under evidence. Notable Roottrees. That's the problem. All right. I think we're getting too stuck here. So let's go ahead and just search Gwen Roottree. We need to start a new rabbit hole. Gwen? What was her name? Gwen. All right. You find some valuable information on the website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. Okay. Gwen Roottree is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Well, we know who this is. That's the only one with the divorce. With the star. Yep. So we got this all wrong here. This would be Gwen. Gwen Roottree. That unknown. And then we need to find a picture of her. Did she sign one of the cards? I don't know. Let's finish reading this. 1950s, around the time of divorce. Her biggest role was the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. She left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. There's a widely circulated picture of Gwen from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Did you know trivia? Gwen was the granddaughter of Elias Roottree, the founder of the Roottree Company. She shouldn't have been named Roottree, but her father took her mother's famous name, which was quite rare in those days. But her father took her mother's famous name. She shouldn't have been named Roottree, but her father took her mother's... Oh, okay, yeah. Gotcha. Wait, what? Granddaughter of Elias Roottree, the founder. Granddaughter. So, yeah. He would be in this tier. Let's go ahead and look at that picture. Oh, damn. She looks good. This photo is widely circulated photo of Gwen Roottree. You've seen it on multiple websites about old films. Okay, she's new. She'll be marked on the chart with a star. So we know that's her. She was an actress. Okay, actor, whatever. And then now let's look up her movies. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Goodbye. What the heck? Why can't I highlight it? Spider search. No. It's a 1953 film in which 2 secretaries cut their hair short and pose as businessmen to get ahead in life until one of them falls in love with their client and hilarity ensues. Starring Gwen Roottree, Leslie Florence, and Harrison Lane. Did you know trivia? The title is a play on words, as it can be read about the 2 women that the 2 women are men similar to other men. What? Or that men are fond of them. Okay. Let's go back. Christmas Mission is on a page called Flops. It was a war movie about World War I, released in 1955, that received poor reviews and lost the studio money. Gwen Roottrees had a role as a soldier's wife and wrote him letters from home. You find no additional relevant information. Did you know, trivia? The movie was marketed as an incredible true story, but no record of the events happening has ever found. That sucks. To try to do your best to create something and just nobody likes it. That's tough. Let's see. So we already got that. One root tree. I feel like we saw her name somewhere else too. Let's look at this. Gwyneth. No, this is after her time. This is 70s. Oh, well-known actress. She appeared in tabloids a lot. Let's look up divorce. Oh, you come across, by searching for variations of Gwen Roottrees, you come across some mentions of a marriage to Wild Bill Williams. They divorced before the birth of their second child. Whoops. So this is not right. I gotta delete all this stuff. Oh, Eloise, nope. Dang, that's crazy. So this is Wild. Wait, what? What was his name? Williams. What? His name's not even on here. Wild Bill. God dang it. Wild. No. Okay, so we need to look up that name to learn some more information before the birth of their second child. Okay. Look at Wild Bill Williams. You find some information on, God. Wild Bill Williams was the leading man of some non-notable movies in the 1950s. He appeared in an adventure movie called Fortune Favors the Grave, which has yet to be released for home audiences. You don't find any additional information about the film. He was known for his good looks and off-screen romances, specifically with blondes. He was married 4 different times to 4 different actresses. There's a famous Hollywood rumor that he even approached Marilyn Monroe at a party, and that she was already aware of his reputation. Did you know Wild Bill grew up in Paris, France? He returned there often. Interesting. Let's look up this. Wild Bill Williams was the leading man of some non-notable movies in the 1950s. Okay, we're at that. Oh, it's the same thing. I want to know his real name. In Paris, France. Well, I guess we can look that up. Maybe we'll get lucky. Paris, France. Okay. Let's see. Dang. So we need to find out his real name because I don't think. Oh wait, maybe the evidence will show it here, like as a nickname or something under men. It's not a root tree. I don't see anything. But she gave birth to 2 kids. That's only the divorce there. So maybe it's the divorce over here. No, that means they're married. No, she has to go here because she has a divorce and she had 2 kids. I think so. I think we're at a dead end here. Unless, let's go back. Let's go to history. I don't need the divorce part. Tabloids, maybe in periodicals. Roottrees. You find many ads from the 1950s for local movie theaters that happen to show Gwen Roottrees' name and cast lists for the films they were showing at the time. Almost all of them are for Guys Like Us and Christmas Mission. It does not seem like Gwen was a resident of Butler County for long, if at all. Business watch. Nothing relevant. Damn. It says she was a bunch of tabloids. What to do? Alright, I think we need to look at another notable name. I think that one's right, though. Gwen Roottrees has to be here. Actor. So we need to get 2 more correct. Because I don't know why we can't find Bill's name in there. Look at what the other names are here. Red Roottrees. Oh, he's the guy that... He's the one with the lawsuit against him to get him removed. Aloysius Herring Roottrees, aka Red, was an appointed judge and politician who earned his nickname ironically because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. He served what some people contend is the shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. He then tried to run for state senate. He claimed to be related to the Roottrees Candy Company in a newspaper, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence and he was defeated in a landslide. So he was a fake. Let's do this one. In the newspaper ad. So that means we can go to periodicals. And then we can do Red Roottrees. There is a sensationalist headlining from 1932. Red Roottrees rally racket revealed. The article mentions a man named Aloysius Herring Roottrees. Red Herring, that's funny. Who was running for office in North Carolina. At a campaign event, he claimed to be related to the Roottrees and promised free 5 pieces on election day to all who proved they voted. Within less than a day, it came out that his last name was a coincidence, and that he had no such power to offer free candy. So this guy wasn't even part of the family, so his name doesn't matter. But why is he in here then? What? Because if he's not related to the family, his name wouldn't be in here. Right? Aloysius or Red? Yeah, Red's not in here. And his full name is not in here either. He's a red herring. Author Laren Roottrees, a distant relative of the Roottrees sisters, is known for her book, A Life Between Wars. Okay, so we can look up her book. According to a website about famous authors in the... Wait, what? Distant relative. In the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty, to little fanfare. When her publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottrees, to take advantage of her family's notoriety. The selection of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between War spans from the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother, as well as her perspectives on changing times and socialites all the way through the entry into Vietnam. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it has found new life as an exercise in high school English classes to show an evolution in writing style and for a look into life in previous generations. After the success of her diary, her publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lauren Roottrees. This included Romance in Court, which gained popularity. She followed the re-release up by writing 2 new sequels, creating what fans refer to as the Court Jester series. Dang, that's messed up. You find no recent details about Lauren, though she is listed as retired. So she's an author. Lauren Roottrees, distant relative of the Roottrees sisters. But she was working in the 1960s and around World War II, so she's like way older. Let's first look up this book. A Life Between Wars. It was not a periodical. Let's just copy it. Lauren Roottrees. Alright. It seems you hit the jackpot here. This is a book occasionally. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was a lot. It seems you hit the jackpot here. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You even find a hardcover edition for students that has full-page, high-quality pictures in it. A summary of the contents of the book, photos, as well as some particularly relevant entries from the diary have been added to your evidence. Interesting. Let's look. It said it added 7, but I only see 3. Alright, well, I guess we'll just... because there's like a 7 here, so I'm assuming like it added 7. Let's... I don't know... look at this picture. Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the 5 pieces. Caption, this picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. What? Who? Oh, there's a guy way in the back. I got his ass. So that must be him. Wait, what? That's him on the left. So this is him? It was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. So that must be Eli Jr. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. So Miracle is in here. And the 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces, which really didn't go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I was supposed to stop the tantrums. They posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later that they never even took a second photo. Wait a minute. Okay, something's... Wait, what? Every single thing has so much to digest. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it. So Miracle's in here. And the 3 of us were all about the same age. Angie and I. Who's I? We were told only the 5 pieces. So this is Miracle. Eventually, I suppose to stop the tantrums. They posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Molden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later that they never even took a second photo. Dang, that's messed up. We don't know who this guy is in the back. Let's zoom in real quick. So this is the 5 pieces, but we don't know who she is. Eli Jr. here. Let's look at him here. Clancy Edward, no. So Eli Jr. has to be, or Miracle has to be the smallest one. Hang on, let me look at this. Evidence here. Where's Candy? No, not that one. It needs to be this one. Miracle. Or Miracle Berry. So if he's the youngest one, this has to be Miracle, right? The boy with the eye patch. Where is he? Miracle. Has to be the original one. And then this one would have to be who's left? Miracle. Oh wait, there's 2. Wait, no, Miracle has to be the youngest one because it says right here Miracle. This one, M, stands for someone else. CE Vance Edwards. We don't know who the M is. Yeah, we don't know who the M is. Eli Jr. Did we get that already? I think we did. He should be the oldest, I think, right? Oh no, we didn't get it yet. Let's look at the candy again. G. So Eli Jr. is the second one. Yeah, Elias Jr. Okay, so we know that's right. Okay. But then it said Mr. Molden. Hang on a second. Something's fishy here. It said Mr. Angie and I both want to be in the photo. And 3 of us were about the same age, which means that he's the youngest in like the 2nd generation, but these kids have to be the oldest in the 3rd generation, Angie and I. So it has to be like down here somewhere. 2 kids. Boom. Here. It has to be from Clancy Edwards. Unless it means like something else. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Mr. Molden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn. That's the name. That's the G. Because it said Aunt Gwendolyn, which means that it is in that tier. So Gwendolyn is the oldest. That's her name. Wait, why is there 2? No, it has to be this one. Gwendolyn Roottrees. So if that's Elias Jr., that's Miracle. Oh, who's this? He said only the 5 pieces. So they are all there, but Pops even had it framed. That's him on the left. Here. If this is Dad, that has to be Mom. But it's not. What? Then why take a picture of him? See, this is the part that doesn't make sense. This picture was famous. Pops even had it framed. That's him on the left. So it has to be this guy, but you can't add any more pictures of him. Unless this has to be the 5 pieces. But then it says, why does it say this caption? This picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. So Elias Jr. is the middle. Because if this is the Pop, and he's talking about him and like move to the warehouse, this is Elias Jr. in the middle. So let's go here. Elias Jr. is this guy right here. Pop is the other guy here. He needs to be this guy. Okay, Elias Jr., him. This is gonna be God damn it. Miracles Roottrees. Okay. Clancy Edward, Elias Jr. We have Gwendolyn. And then we need to find out who this last person is. Gwendolyn is the oldest. Because we already got that from the picture. Wait, we don't need Gwendolyn. We need the second to last one. We need the M. We need the M. I'm stupid. Here. So let's look at this again. We need an M. Margolite. Is Margolite. So this is Margolite. Margolite Roottrees. And she is either this one or this one. Let's look it up. Dang it. Is Margolite? Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to our evidence. This picture gave us a lot. Because we got the 2 guys. We got the kid. Now we just need to figure out the 2 women. Angie and I both want to be in the picture. Since Miracle was in it. And the 3 of us were about the same age. Let's look up Miracle. You found a website for the Miracle Network, a production company run by the Miracle Roottrees estate. It's quite bare bones, but has the following blurb. Witness the testimonies of the miracles Roottrees. Miracle Roottrees arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by over 14 years. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems, but still, with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Miracle Roottrees Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottrees name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that need it most. The power of the Lord coming to a town near you. Below the burb is a flyer about the tour, which is in your evidence. So they both became kind of like church people. Here. A flyer for the 3 Generations of Miracles tour. The flyer is a few years old. It came from 1996. The names listed are Miracle Jr., who is said to be the world famous and gets top billing. Miracle Jr. is on the notable Roottrees list in your evidence. Miracle Roottrees, who the flyer says will make a special appearance. Miracle III and his wife Nicole, who are said to be the youth pastors. Damn. Miracle Roottrees got married. And then he had, wait, who was on the, this is Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. And then this one is Miracle the Third. Yeah. This one would be, nope, I didn't click the picture, dang it. That's Miracle the Third. Children now welcome, and his wife Nicole. Do they have kids? Check. Okay, no one has kids. So this is that guy. This is Miracle the Third. And he is a pastor, I think. Does it say pastor in here? Preacher. Oh. Hell yeah. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. Very nice. Ooh, yeah. Okay. And we know his wife is Nicole. Oh, which one though? Oh, we don't know yet. Miracle Roottrees. Miracle Jr. Go back here. Miracle Jr. is this guy. He is also a pastor. Or what does it say? Preacher. We don't know his wife yet. We don't know his wife. But we know this guy was also a preacher as well. Okay. Now what? We gotta look up his name. Not yet. With that. Okay, let's go back up here. Miracle Roottrees. So now Roottrees Jr. Okay, it kind of combines all the miracles together. Preacher. We don't know who their wives are. Let's look at a different one now. Look at this one. Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the next generation. Caption: an attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. That's funny. But I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted that the 4 of us stand together, and so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen. Grandma insisted we include Sam, even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge even after all these years. So this is Lauren's diary. Let me look closer. I guess might as well grab all their pictures. So they said the four of them clumped in. So it's these four right here. The four kids. And then we don't know who she is. Hang on a sec. With our generation, which means that it has to be this generation, the third tier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But wait, there's not 10 of. It said Gwen. Okay, so she wasn't there, so it's 9. They said she was the only one that wasn't there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're missing one because he's not a part of it. For old time's sake, we got her in the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand on the way and left since he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. But I was outvoted by my brothers. And so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filtered in. So Eli. So these four are here. They are in this group. And one of them is a star. So that'll be easy for us to determine real quick. It's Lauren Roottrees or Miracle Jr. Well, it has to be Lauren. So this is Lauren. Here. Lauren Roottrees. We don't know who she's married yet. Whoops, wrong one. Where is it? Lauren Roottrees. Hey, what did the periodical say again? Nope. Or was it book? Yeah, we're on Lauren Roottrees. Let's look in Spider Search again. She was the author. Okay. So she was author. Oh. I think we got 3 more names. Lauren, Miracle, and Roottrees, or Miracle Jr. Oh yeah. Ah, my ears.
It's time for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour on the 45.
Oh my God, it's so loud.
Development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl Roottrees' belongings have apparently gone missing.
Oh my God.
A framed photo of the Roottrees family from the mid-1970s that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTD News. Again, that's WRTD.
Jesus, that was loud. Well, I guess we better do that. Is your local investigative jazz radio station. During their news segment at 45 minutes on the hour, they have been talking about the plane crash. This most recent hour, they also talked about a picture taken from Carl's office after the plane crash and promised an interview online with a psychologist. During the interview, it's revealed there wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with a key to the office took the pictures after discovering the pipes burst due to the recent storm. This means it was likely someone close to the family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. The psychologist, however, also goes on to posit the culprit had an alternate agenda, specifically because nobody in the family has come forward to say they have had it in their possession. A comment below the article says, "Don't believe in their lies. This is just another instance of the Roottrees curse being a real true thing. I bet you Carl was murdered and the picture had evidence on it." Ooh. That's crazy. It's the lady, the crazy lady. She's the one that's doing all this. Okay, so we got Lauren, and we know that her sister was, what was it? It was in this one. Lauren's diary. Angie's one of, wait, what? Okay, that's not right. Since Miracle is in it. So it had to be from here. Angie and whoever. Because she has 3 brothers. Lauren has 3 brothers. Carl Roottrees. Don't know who the brothers are. So that's Miracle there. We know that little kid's Miracle. And then we know that he is that guy. So she's saying that they want to include Sam, but didn't know why. Who's Sam? Sam is this guy. Or is it girl? I don't know. She might be the one in the back. She has red hair. But none of the family, none of these, oh, they're black and white, so you can't really tell. Oh, you can kind of blonde. No, it couldn't be here. It might be in this branch. There's just too much unknown right now. You know, this is Gwendolyn. We don't know her occupation. Okay, I think we've gathered everything we can from this picture right now. I'm gonna end this episode here. We've been going on for a while, made even more progress. I think we have pretty good. We have so many pictures accumulated. We just need to start throwing them onto the board. Lareau, Diamond. And also we need to kind of figure out more of the ones up here so they get locked in, and then hopefully we can trickle down to the more colored photos. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and are enjoying the series. If you are, please consider giving me a like and subscribe if you want to. And I will see you in the next episode.